So welcome back to another really exciting video. So this is the third part of our the Apple logo animation. On the first video, we already covered how to design the logo animation logo, and the second video we covered the logo animation basics. But in this video, let's create how to use this stroke animation on the live footage. I downloaded some videos from the Apple the previous events, so you can see from here it's a very clean videos, so we can track the element on this video actually. See, or you can use your own video if you don't want to use their Apple videos. Shoot your video and use your own. Anyway, the thing is, I found one video on YouTube. If you search just Apple event logo animation on Google, see, it's a Cinecom video actually. But I like the technique how they use it. Even I also tried first, but I couldn't get the proper result. But here the problem I will show you. The output is not really great. I mean, it's not matching the actual Apple event animations. See, if you look at here, it's even they also agreeing. If you watch this video, you can see that they also agreeing the it's not perfect the output. Okay, let's watch their output here somewhere here. Yeah. See, here it's not a straight and it's not a perfect one, so that's what see these edges, these are the main problem. So here I found a solution, the actual solution. So let's use Cinema 4D, the problem solved. So before that we had to set up something. So we are going to use this video and double click, and this is little slower, 7 seconds is there, so let's make a little faster. Instead of this, let's use time remapping. Right click, time remapping, speed, and if you press the control button on keyboard and just click and add this keyframe to add the time remap. Again little more faster. Now let's export. If you are using Cinema 4D, so we can track the video inside the Cinema 4D, but better don't just export video, export image sequence. You will get a faster tracking on Cinema 4D. Otherwise they have to convert into frame by frame and they will start tracking only. So just export frame by frame. To export frame by frame, go to file, export media, and here just change. Usually we'll use H.264, but instead of that use JPEG. Then you can export every single frame, and also JPEG sequence and output name. So we can create a new folder, Apple sequence footage 3, just save, then click on export button. Now you can see, if you go to desktop, you can see where is it, yeah, Apple sequence. See, you can see all this frame separately. Now back to Cinema 4D. So these are the interface to track a video inside Cinema 4D. It's very easy actually. Here you can see a tracker, and you can manually track step by step, or here is a full solve. Just import your video, they will track, they will camera match, everything they will do, so you don't have to do anything. So let's try this full solve. Then open our sequence, the first image, double click, it will automatically detect the sequence. See, here you can see the preload footage. See, it's done, the preloading is done. If you are using the video, it will take a lot of time. That's why we exported the video as JPEG sequence. So it's very faster in Cinema 4D if you are using this technique. Anyway, see, the tracking is done now. They start running the 3D solver. See, this is the main feature, the main advantage of this full solve. You don't have to do anything, they will do everything. So let's wait for the solving this 3D. So yeah, optimization. Yeah, we are done. Now here you can see one motion tracker layer. It's a new layer. If you drop down this, you can see the solved camera and everything, and all the tracking point will be here. We need this. Now if you coming out from this camera, see, you can see the tracked cameras. You can see this is the camera movement they tracked, and this is the space that we have to work on here. Anyway, back to the camera. Now actually, if you track a scene, then the next step what you have to do is you have to set up a system. Means you have to assign the world transform. To do that, right click on this motion tracker and go to tracker tags and first planar constraint. So you'll get a triangle. Now set the point here, select the planar area. See, if you have a track in a table, just select the 3 point on top of table. So here it's a land, so we are going to use 3. It's a planar actually. See, it's properly tracked. Now see, that's mean the planar means the ground level, the ground planing. So you can use something like this. You can't use it like this because it's not a planar. So use something on the tracking point on the ground. So we already set up the planar, and here you can set up the axis and everything. Now we have to set up the world center. So right click again and go to tracker tags, and here the position constraint. So here you can see our small dots, then set up somewhere. So it will become the center of our world. Now you can see, and if you create a new cube, the size is too big. Let's reduce the size. Now just play this one. So you can see that cube is properly placed on the video. Let's move this into here, and yeah, this is not jerked, nothing, it's properly placed. Now let's start creating the Apple motion, that the spline warp animation. So before that, we have to let's set up our world system. Means, so this box has to be the end, and instead of creating a new box, you can hold the control key on the keyboard, then click and drag. You can create a copy of any shapes, so you don't have to create the shapes again and then again, just copy the same shape. So these are the end, and this is the center of, and this is bottom, the visible area, and just click and drag this top side. So we have to know the space in the 3D space. That's why we are creating these boxes. And also, create a box here, the center of, see, that's all. Actually, we don't want this here. And center. Now if you just get out from this solved camera, now you can see everything here. Also, if you don't want to see this tracking point, and go to motion tracker, and I think 3D solve, 2D tracker, reconstruction. So 3D solve here, display, you can set, then you can work properly. See, this is our that 3D space actually. Now here we have to create a spline here. So for testing we can use helix, or you can use a spline pen tool, and this is our starting point. Then create something like this, like this. Oh, that's too big. Okay, now go back to our sold camera. Oh, now from here we can actually adjust. Okay, now go to the selection tool, and here you can see the point tool. Now here you can adjust each and every points here from here. Also the angle, and here this point has to be here, and I think the beginning point has to be a little bit upside. See here. I think better adjust this point into here, then the problem will solve, I think. Now we are done with the basic spline here. Now we can remove this old cube into bottom, and yeah, now we already know how to animate this thing. Could use a spline warp. To use a spline warp we need a cylinder, and the cylinder size is too big. You can change the radius into 5 and the total height also into, yeah, maybe 200. It's fine. It's too big. Now anyway, make the spline warp under this cylinder and set the spline warp, and here we have to replace the spine. So click and drag our spline to here. Now the problem, we have to change our axis into plus y, and again the problem, the subdivisions is too low, so increase the height segments. Maybe 200 is fine. Now you can actually adjust our points, because you'll get a clear picture how it's look. So if you now, very simple, create a new material and use standard material, double click. We already done this area on the past tutorial, and apply luminance and create a gradient. Here we already remember that, just save your gradient preset so you can use anytime. So I already saved this preset here. Then also we had to do one more thing, go to gradient and change the type into 2D vertical, then apply this gradient into cylinder. That's all. Now see, the shapes is properly tracked, but the problem here is little higher, so I think you can adjust those stuff. Just remove this, disable the cylinder and select the spline. Now start animating. Set the spline warp, and here you can do the 2 animation. Now the beginning and a keyframe at this time, and a keyframe, and finish it. Now see, that's all. If you want to animate these shapes, the colors we already know. select this texture and you can increase this length, so you'll get the moving option on these colors. Also add a keyframe, and at here add another keyframe, and at here see, and another keyframe. So I think the cylinder size is a little big. You can reduce the size again into maybe 1.5, and this is pretty good. See, that's all. Now the problem here you had to create a smooth spline. That's a problem right now. It's not as smooth actually. Let's check it out. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. See, that's all. Now what you have to do is just save this Cinema 4D file, save project, and Apple event file, maybe footage, profile, live action, V2. Now just open After Effects. You don't have to render from here. I will tell you the easiest way. Open After Effects. Now let's close this file, the Premiere Pro. We don't need that right now. And just open our video here, Apple event file, footage, Apple, and import a epic sequence. Select the first frame and import. Now just drag and drop into this icon. You can create a composition based on the file of that video. Now just import our live action to Cinema 4D file into After Effects project panel. That's all. So I told you Cineware, you can bridge After Effects and Cinema 4D, and it's very easy to render the files and everything, this kind of, and just drag and drop into here. And also one more thing, you have to ensure that here you can select the mode and project. So the FPS is 30. So you have to match the same FPS here also on the composition setting. Frame rate 30. It's actually matched, but just ensure that. Now we press the play button. Oh, okay, one more thing, we don't want these boxes, so go to Cinema 4D, and actually you can just disable this right now. Control S. See, it automatically update here. See, that's the benefits of Cineware. It's really cool actually. I'm going to change my workspace. Yes. Now to render in proper ways, select the Cinema 4D, and FX control, you can access the Cineware properties. Change the render type into current, so they'll remove all this grid and everything, the final output. Now just press the space bar. You can preview the video. Oh, also one more thing, see, if you just actually it's a transparent, so you can reduce the opacity a little bit. T for the to get the opacity control. Then change the opacity maybe into 93, maybe 85. Oh, that's too much. 90. Then press the space bar. See, I think this is again the problem here. You have to add more subdivisions. See, go to cylinder and height segment, maybe. And B, you can access the, and also you can add rotational segment also. And also one more thing, remember that spline warp, and here instead of fit mode, changing to keep length. So then you have to increase the height. And also you can change this spline base here, adaptive, and you'll get a smooth spline. Actually, now the size is too much, so just reduce the size. And also you can into 32, and you can add more segments. Yeah, change the fillet into now. Get a smooth line. That's all. Control S, it will automatically update here also. See, now it's very smooth actually. So the problem with this silicone video, see, you can feel that yeah, it's very fake, but here it's actual Apple. Yeah, their actual, I don't know which tool they actually use, but this is one of the technique that you can achieve the same effects with C4D. And yeah, anyway, hope you enjoy it. So stay tuned for more videos.